All right, so here is part 2. And this chapter starts with library. Miss Hernandez and Mr. Franklin take us to the school library twice a week. It is filled with books on shelves, climbing to the ceiling like little buildings. Each book is like a door waiting to be unlocked. Today, I sit at a table, but I don't pick a book to read like everyone else in my class. Today, I don't know why, feels like the day at the grocery store. Today, I am thinking of how my mother always wanted to learn to read, to own a book, to open one of these magical presents and see what's inside. Miss Hernandez shows me a book about cows. She asks me to find a picture of a cow like Gaul, but I tell her I don't feel in a library mood this day. That's okay, she says. I know how that goes. It is just so hard to choose, I add. There are so many books, and where I come from, there are hardly any. Miss Hernandez nods. I felt that way a lot when I first came here. Once, I went to the mall and I ended up hiding in the corner of a clothes store. It was just too many lights and too many clothes, you know? And I still feel kind of funny at the movies. Have you been to a movie yet? I shake my head. Not one of the big movies, but I did see a little one on the flying boat. I went to a grocery store, though. I whisper the last word, cry. Miss Hernandez pats my hand. It's just too much sometimes, isn't it? When you had almost nothing, and when you know that many people still have so little. I don't know what to do with it all, I say. I kick at a chair leg. To have all of this food and all of these books and all of this freedom, I feel I do not know the word, too lucky. It's a big gift, she agrees. I reach for the cow book. My father would have liked this book, I say. I'd like to hear about your family, Miss Hernandez says. I think for a minute. My father was a fine singer, I say. Tell me more, Miss Hernandez says. And I do. Time passes, the kind that they call weeks. I have a little money from my job. I have to make myself believe that a crumpled piece of green paper means something, means anything. In my old world, it was easy. You could know a person's wealth by counting his cattle. Hannah and I take the bus to a giant store filled with many things to buy. I have promised her I will not get upset this time. I want to buy my aunt some new dishes. There are stores within stores here, and music and food. It is bright and it is big, and there are toys and chairs and TV machines and T-shirts. What do you call such a place? I ask. The mall, Hannah replies. I follow her to a huge, shiny store. I have herded cattle for hundreds of miles with only the stars to guide me, but I am certain I could never find my way out of a place like this. Hannah takes me to 2 magic silver staircases, one going up, one coming down. I watch as the stairs melt away and then reappear. It's just an escalator, she says. No big deal, come on. I shake my head. They had these at the airport, but Dave let me take the stairs instead. Is there another way to climb? She laughs. Well, there's an elevator. That would be a better way, I think. Okay, but you gotta promise me that you'll try it next time. It's fun, Hannah says. So are elevators. The elevator is hiding near a row of puffy white coats, like clouds with arms. Hannah pushes a button, and we wait. A bell rings, and then the doors vanish. I follow her into a little room waiting for us. She pushes another button, and then zoom! Up we fly. I think I left my stomach downstairs, I say. Hannah smiles. I told you it was fun. Hannah leads me to shelves full of colorful dishes. I like some with many stripes, but she says that I cannot afford them. She picks out a small box of white ones. This should pretty much replace what you broke, Hannah says. I cradle the box gently in my arms, the way that I would carry a newborn calf. On the way to the paying place, we pass many red sparkling cards and much candy. Some of it is even chocolate. Valentine's Day is in a couple of days, Hannah explains. You give stuff to people that you like, plus it just happens to be my birthday. Hey, when's your birthday? I do not know, I admit. We do not have birthdays in the way that you do, but I do know that I was born in the time you call summer. Hannah looks confused by this news. It is hard for me to remember that she sometimes finds my ways as strange as I find hers. I must find you a gift, I say, after I pay back the money I owe for the bus and the washing. How much do I have left? No way, Hannah says. You're not spending your hard-earned money on yours truly. But it would make me very proud, I argue, and it is my duty as your friend. Hannah grins out of one side of her mouth, a silly, tilted smile, like a new moon rising. Okay. You see that little box of heart candy? You could afford that. It must be chocolate, I say firmly. She scans the shelves. Here, she says at last. She hands me a shiny little heart. Perfect. We stand in a long line. When I give the lady my money for the dishes and the heart, my own heart grows so big with pride, I fear that it might pop open like a ripe sea pod. I earned this money, I tell her. I take care of a cow. It is a fine job. The lady smiles politely. If you say so, hon. Again, I am learning that America people do not understand the wonder of a cow. Maybe if they had more cows on the TV machine, people would begin to feel as Gunwar and I do. You can have your dogs and cats, your gerbils and hamsters, and sleek, sparkling fish, but you will have lived just half a life if you never love a cow. This chapter is called White Girl. In front of our apartment, I give the shiny heart to Hannah. Happy birthday and happy Valentine's Day, I say, to my good friend Hannah. 3 boys walk past us just as Hannah slips the silver heart into the pocket of her coat. They glare at us with eyes that shoot poison. Leave the white girl alone, one yells. Hands off, boy. Just ignore them, Hannah whispers. She pulls me inside and she slams the door shut. A moment later, she opens it a crack and she peers out. They're gone, she says. I shake my head. I don't understand, I say. Me neither, Hannah says. Me neither. Well, you should not have pulled me inside, I mutter. Well, they're jerks. Hannah yanks off her mittens. I didn't want you to get hurt. I am a man, I say, standing tall. Well, sure you are, Hannah says. I just, didn't see the point in a fight. I mean, why does it matter? I can't explain, but suddenly I feel tired of using words that do not belong to me. Never mind, I say, and I trudge up the stairs. My aunt is surprised to see a box for me. A present, she keeps saying. A present for me? She opens the dishes and she hugs me hard. You are such a fine boy, Keck, she says. I feel happy about the dishes and bad about the angry boys. It is hard to feel 2 things at once, so I try not to feel anything. I sit next to Gunwar on the sofa, and together we watch the TV machine, and we watch it tell its happy, easy stories. Last chapter. It's called Scars. Every weekend and on other days sometimes, Gunwar and I go to Lou's. It feels good to go somewhere simple, to work and sing and eat cookies with chocolate. Gunwar doesn't say so, but I think he is calmer on these days. Sometimes he even whistles a radio song or tells me a joke in English that I do not understand. Always, though, I laugh to make him happy. One afternoon, Gunwar and I rebuild a gate that has rotted away at the edge of the field. It's long work, and we sweat under our thick coats. The sun is still weary and weak like a traveler too long on the road, but each day it is trying harder to be warm. Gunwar wipes away sweat from his arm. The 6 lines etched in his forehead glisten. I will never have the gar, I say suddenly. My words surprise me. That's an idea I've never let myself think about until now. The initiation ceremony is part of another place, a place I may never return to. You're lucky, Gunwar says. Why would you want such scars? They mean nothing here. They mean everything, I say. I lean on the fence. How will I know when I am a man? Gunwar keeps hammering. When you own a fine car and a house with many bathrooms, then you are a man in this country, he answers with a smile. It isn't so funny, I say. You have been tested, and I have not. You were brave. I look away. I don't want him to see my eyes and what lies hidden there. Me? I haven't been. Sure you have, Gunwar replies. You were in the camp, alone. You came here, alone. That's plenty brave. It doesn't take a knife in the hand of a village elder for you to prove yourself. I pick up my hammer and I slam it hard against the rusty nail that is sticking out of the wood. That is easy for you to say. After that, I won't talk any more, but I hammer many nails as hard as I can. Even with my gloves on, I have a good hurting blister to show for it.